Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and The Punisher, issue number 16. Now, I actually thought this was going to be the last issue before Legacy took over and the original numbering showed up, and then he was supposed to turn into War Machine. Maybe that's something completely different, because honestly, like I said, I'm really hoping that this comic just continues as it is. I'm hoping that the whole War Machine is just like some small little tidbit on the side that he does for like 4 issues, maybe 3. Could he do it in 2? Could he just get that over with and just have it done there? Because I don't want him to be the new War Machine. I want him to say the Punisher, because he's the freaking Punisher. And this comic is freaking awesome. Like, I'm so happy I found this comic. Anyway, by that I mean the title. So, yeah, he's just too badass to not be doing this. Like, this is a very graphic comic. This is for adults only. You know what I'm saying? Or at least adult-minded. Whatevs. Anyway, guys, so, just the fight that happens here, Face comes back. Now, I wasn't reading this title, so I don't actually know who Face is. I don't know the original battle, but I think this comic does a really, really good enough job explaining who he is, why he's in the state that he's in, why he looks the way he does, why he's missing his left hand, and all this crazy stuff, and how he has this new superpower-ish kind of thing really well. Because I'm sitting here reading this, and I feel as though I read the original issue. So that right there, that's what I'm talking about. This is a freaking amazing comic book. So this dude Face shows up. He's been taking EMC, this drug that makes you immune to pain and damage, apparently. Takes out these police, shoves a bunch of syringes in their eyes, and then goes face to face, get the pun, with the Punisher. And he winds up evading him. Punisher has to keep going after him. Punisher winds up getting punked out by a security guard. Wow. I'm pretty impressed. A bouncer, more or less. I'm impressed. I want to see a comic book with this bouncer now. I'm hoping that Frank comes back to it, but this guy's also not a bad guy, apparently, so maybe that's why Frank backed off. In which case, yeah, because Frank technically is a good guy at heart. You may not like his attitude and all that stuff, but what am I talking about? Everybody loves his freaking attitude. So he gets surrounded by the cops, and all of a sudden, Face gets on the big screens in Times Square, and he's like, I want to face off. I said that with with you in Times Square. So yeah, bring it. And that's where we actually conclude. So we're going to have a continuation for this comic. That's impressive. I didn't know that this comic actually, all these comics felt like one-shots to me, which is one of the part of the appeal to this. At the same time, I'm really looking forward to this next week, and I hope that it continues after that without him donning the armor. But that's just me. Anyway, guys, I hardly know what to give this, because just like it's good enough that it doesn't even need a grade as far as I'm concerned. But I'm just going to give it an A- nonetheless. Like, it's really good. Just, I don't know, like, not knowing the future of this comic is one thing that's kind of bugging me. Having a character just show up out of nowhere, though, like, just, that's awesome. And it's a continuation. It's a brand new character. A guy like this, a guy who's basically immortal, that's exactly the kind of bad guy that Frank Castle needs. Because aside from Jigsaw coming back once in a while, like, he doesn't have any real reoccurring enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gets real lucky when Bullseye and the Punisher and all that, the Punisher and the Kingpin are able to get away from him. But for the most part, Frank needs bad guys who he could shoot up and they still come back. So he can't keep on fighting Wolverine, even though Wolverine's back now. Marvel Legacy, issue number 1, out this week. Comic Book University. Anyway, that being said, guys, really good comic. I'm looking forward to what's coming up next, and I hope this comic stays as it is. And nobody says I'm the goddamn Punisher like the Punisher. Batman's got nothing on him. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.